is a reverence and respect for what we are witnessing. Mountain music that dates back to the Civil War. The real music passed on by the families of the real riders. There's no fancy sound system, no fixes, no attempts at musical perfection. It's the authenticity that's the actual attraction.
Music that's lasted at some point in a culture for a long time. There's values to it. The human mind has been able to process it in a special way, so it's been kept by people. And it doesn't matter whether you've ever heard it before or not. You may have the ability to process that and get out of it what people have for centuries.
I'm getting to see Clyde Davenport today, and that's one reason I really wanted to come, because I'd heard Clyde was going to be here. Clyde is one of the very last old-timers we have. We've lost so many in the last little while.
People who congregate here are looking for something a little less mainstream than the music that fits neatly into categories. It's a collective consciousness between them and the man who started this festival over 40 years ago.
Well, I'd listened to a lot of rock and roll, and I guess I first heard this music waiting in line to get a guitar lesson to learn to play more like Bob Dylan. But the fellow was giving a banjo lesson, and I heard that. I said, man, that's the best, happiest sound I've ever heard. I'll never have a sad day in my life if I can learn to do that.
Much of this music mimics what is all around the people who play it. Fiddle and banjo tunes are often tone poems, imitating the sounds of the wind, a train, or the trees. Those making the music sing about love, dogs, and liquor.
I'm a great-granddaughter of an old moonshiner. I'm not ashamed of where I came from.
It is a wonderful part of the repertoire of people. They wanted to laugh when they played music as well as cry about that lost love. It's never changed, has it? It's that way in most cultures.
I think that it's in my bones, I really do. And I think when I hear a clawhammer banjo, especially, something distant and far away is revived in me, and I don't know what that is.
The roots of Denise Reagan's raising are what she suspects draws her here to this festival year after year. She's a singer-songwriter who is finding herself veering away from the pop synthetic sound.
I started writing songs that were about people in my family, and some of the stories came up, the songs came up first, and then I discovered the stories behind them. It's almost like the songs were evoking something in me that was hidden, that I had to bring out. I just love seeing, these people have so much joy in this music. They love it. They love being here, and some of them can't play by sight reading. They play by ear. It's just, they can play any instrument they pick up, and it's just magical.
Old Timers Day certainly pays homage to the unique sound of Tennessee mountain music. But it's not just old timers and the old music they played. There is a much younger generation coming up behind them, following in their footsteps, making their own mountain music.
I love to hear it, and I don't think of old folks. I have a lot of friends in their 20s and 30s that are really getting this style down, and they're having pretty good dances and parties with this music and going to festivals.
Pickett State Park is a great place to play. There's more to do here than listen to the music. But even to some of the teenagers, this music transcends time.
They're hearing old-time fiddle and banjo, and when they're older, people say, old time, what's that? They will know.
I had always liked bluegrass music. But old time really just hit a niche because I've always said I was born about 100 years too late. Everybody I've known has always said that, and I've always just been more old-fashioned than other people, than young people. And that old time music really just did it for me. Just made it more real, and I can feel it, if that makes any sense.
At 19 years old, Jordan Hewitt was one of the younger musicians here until he met up with Trenton Tater Carruthers, who was only 13.
I don't know, it's just me. When you get into old time music, it just swallows you. It just takes you completely.
All throughout Pickett State Park, people are taken by the music, swept away in the moment, making memories with family and friends.
It's a family event, and it's kind of, as you can tell, it's probably pretty laid back as far as festivals go. There's no schedule. People just show up and they play whenever they want. They eat, have a good time.
So much of our society has become homogenized, and every little town has a Walmart. So this is a way to recapture some things that have been lost. And when this goes away, where will people gather and share this information and these songs?
Well, maybe Jordan and Trenton weren't born 100 years too late. Maybe they were born just in time.
I just hope that while I am here, that I can pass on these traditions and try to keep this stuff alive. And I just hope that what little bit I can do, we'll pass it on to somebody else, because we need to remember it.
The world is going to be a richer place if we protect it, if we leave it here in a way that can outlive the musician.
Even after 40 years, the people here say they are still learning something new about the old music. In Jamestown, I'm Annette Noel Hall on the Wild Side.